Welcome to the Strategy Mob Podcast. Tune in for everything you need to know to stay in the know regarding the automotive industry. Here's your host, Jason Harris.
Hey, look, I'll tell you right now, some of the best salespeople I ever had started as techs.
Yes.
You know, it just wasn't necessarily their grind, or even some of the older guys I had who I actually migrated them out of being, the foreman and into a sales role. They shined, they just didn't feel like they wanted to, turn wrenches anymore. It was just getting a little too hard for them and on their bodies and stuff. So it's just like, I think that's what it is. I think any new person coming into it, regardless of the generation that they're in, right, they want to know if I'm going to be coming to work for your dealership, like, is there paths? Is there opportunities? If I come in and I decide that maybe this isn't what I want to do and I want to work the counter, can I work the counter? If is there an opportunity that I get into this and it's like I, only spent so many years doing this, and because of physical reasons or whatever other reasons I said I don't want this, can I go try sales? It's like, I think what it is just, it's no different than what the customer wants to know from a dealership is how flexible you are. Yeah. All right. I think any new technician that's coming in wants to know how flexible the dealership is. And to your point, you mentioned a little bit earlier, Jay, and I kind of want to talk a little bit because I want to go back to that point, is you talked a little bit about, like, during the pandemic, there were some people that really continued to engage and the ones that didn't, all right? And what we're seeing right now, Jay, is we're seeing the cream rise to the top. We're seeing who the real leaders are, all right? And, I'm telling you right now, I mean, I don't know about you. I'm curious if you saw the same thing. Like, I had some dealerships that we work with that were amazing. And their communication, I see the key was communication. During this whole thing, they maintained their communication with their staff, their customers. It was amazing. And then I saw some dealerships, man, that stuck their heads in the fucking sand, stuck their fingers in their ears, and was like, la, 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 until this whole thing blows over. And, they're the ones I think are suffering right now. Did you see that same thing?
Absolutely. Like 100%. I think it, and I don't know if it was so much that they were, it's similar to 2008, right? Like where, when shit started to hit the fan, it was like, oh no, like what do we do? And I think people get paralyzed by fear, and fear of not knowing when this thing is going to end was a huge deal. And it still is, right? I think there's still a lot of worry of, when does this end? When does life ever, if it ever does get back to normal? But that was such a key part, was the communication from the true leaders, and not only communication, but transparency too, right? To really talk about, I saw some strong leaders that would share financials, right? And share, I think that's such a powerful thing to do, because from a tech's point of view, they probably don't get that all the time, or even down to like a BDC manager or something like it. There are times where people just have no idea what the health of the dealership is. So those that were communicative and transparent through the entire thing, I think they kept their people comfortable, even if they had to do a salary cut or if they had to do any form of layoffs. The ones that were really, really strong with communication, I think they're going to build loyalty coming out of this.
Thanks for tuning in to the Strategy Mob Podcast with your host, Jason Harris. Don't want to miss new content? Be sure to sign up to be a mobster at strategymob.com to stay in the know. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Happy podcasting.